Hi everyone, welcome back. This is day 6 of the Stitch Along Challenge and we are going to start the week with the holly. Alright, so if you just found this video somewhere online, this is part of a challenge where we are stitching one of these a day, and you can still join us at any time. Just go to the link near the video and fill out the form. You will receive your free pattern with all the instructions on how to get started, what supplies to get, and how to transfer your pattern, and you'll be able to start from day one and follow along. So if you have bought the kit, or if you want to follow my color scheme, the red that we're going to use for the holly is 349 and the green is 3012. They are DMC references. Okay, so for the berries, depending on how comfortable and how advanced you are in embroidery, we can do it two ways. We can either do them in satin stitch, which will be the easy option, or we could do them in a bullion stitch, which is a little bit more complicated and definitely requires that you are a little bit more comfortable with needle and thread. So you can choose whichever way you want to do it. For this video, I'm going to use the two methods. Also, I think that doing both within that one piece, the satin stitch and the bullion stitch, will really bring it to life because it will give it a different texture. So it will be great to mix the two. I'm going to improvise here and try and figure out which one I'm going to do satin and which one I'm going to do bullion, but I think I'm going to do 3 satin and 2 bullion and see how that looks. So I'm thinking satin, 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 bullion, bullion. So let's start with the satin stitch, which is probably the easiest way to start. And I've taken, like I said, 1 strand, and I'm just going to fill the shape, trying to stick as closely as possible to my drawn line. So yeah, that's the first one. I'm going to move on to the second one straight away. And I'm going to change the orientation of or the slant of my stitch, just so that again gives a little bit of a twist on the texture. Okay, so you can keep going if you feel more comfortable. If you want to do the satin stitch for the other two, feel free. Honestly, this is your call. If you want to try the bullion stitch, this is the next stitch that I'm going to show you. Okay, so here for the funny story, I have just recorded all of this. I actually thought I recorded it. It wasn't recorded. It's a bit complicated for me to undo it, so what I'm going to do is keep building it up so you get the motion and everything, and then we'll start again with this one and I'll show you from the beginning. The joy of technology. So for the bullion stitch, I was saying in my previous recording that the bullion stitch tends to start from the center and builds around, and we use that stitch a lot of the time for to make little flowers, and mainly because it has this sort of heart of the flower and then it builds up around with the petals. And it also is really lovely for that kind of stitch because piece, because it gives that sort of raised look, and it just gives it a different texture. It brings it to life, like I was saying earlier. For this one I have started in the middle and I've started building up the stitches around it. I will obviously link to the illustrated tutorials online so that it's easier to understand if you find it really hard like this. As you can see, I have come through the back of my fabric, and I'm gonna go a bit further out and then back through where I'm coming from, and then I'm going to twist my thread around the needle. All right, and then I'm going to push the needle through, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm holding on to this, to the threads, the twists. And what you need to do if it gets a little bit stuck is that you pull firmly but not crazily hard, because otherwise you're just going to damage everything. It's just gonna jam. So now, as you can see, that has come through nicely, and it's starting to snugly sit around the other stitches. Okay, so here goes for the first one. I'm gonna keep building up this one, and then we'll start from the beginning on the second one. Okay, let me show you from step one. I come through the middle of the shape, and I'm just going to, my stitches are going to be longer as we go. So to begin with, they're not huge, so I make a tiny little step back into the first stitch, and then I'm going to twist it maybe like 3-4 times. Here's the thing, there's no rule about how many times you twist your needle, your thread. It all depends on how long you want the stitch to be and how thick. And there you go. So that's the first one. Okay, here there's a little bit of a sticky thing. We're going to rectify it in a minute. So I'm going to actually come through it, and I'm going to hold on. I'm going to anchor it. That's it. That's the word. By going through it. So that's a little trick on how you can actually fix little areas like this. So it looks like that. To fix it, I need to go that way. So let's try that step again. So you go in, back out from where you're coming from. Give it a few little twists. Hold on to the twist, pull your needle through. Pull gently, let go, and then, sorry, I've got a little fluff on my thing. I think it's coming from a jumper that I was wearing last time. And then that's it, and you keep building it up around that center. We'll have other opportunities to actually use that stitch. So if you want to just keep it easy this time, just do as you feel is right. go. So for the leaves, we're going to use that color 3012 if you've got the kit, and we're going to use 2 strands. Each leaf has got that kind of middle partition, so we are going to start from there and radiate from the center out. Holly's leaves have got this sort of little pointy shape, so we are going to try and recreate that as much as we can so we have that special effect. I'm going to start from the bottom and we're going to do a satin stitch. When you reach that sort of place, you will want to start angling your thread towards the top like this. So slowly you're going to build it up, that it changes direction, so that right at the top it's a straight stitch, and then it starts going down the other side. this is it. We've just finished day 6, the holly. Tomorrow we will be stitching the socks. Have lots of fun with this one, and don't forget to share with me. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.